Hey Algebra 2, today's lesson is called Rational Number Exponents. We've been dealing with roots throughout this chapter, and now we're actually going to have exponents for fractions for exponents, and we have to know what to do with those. Well, when you're dealing with exponents that are fractions, the easy way is to handle this is I'm going to write the 49 over, okay, rewrite the 49. The numerator of the fraction we're going to put right next to the base, the 49. And this 2 right here is your index that goes on the outside of the root. So now we're talking about the square root. Technically, we don't have to write the 1. So we're talking about the square root of 49, which is 7. So that's how we solve a problem like this. Again, the numerator is your exponent on the inside. The denominator is your index on the outside of the radical. So now, let's do negative 64 to the 1/3. Again, we have a negative 64 on the inside. The 1 is your exponent on the inside. Technically, we don't have to write a 1. And then the 3 is your index on the outside. Okay? And so now we have to break up 64. The third root. What to the third power is 64? And the answer would be 4. And since it's a negative, we know our answer is negative. So negative 4 would be the answer. Because negative 4 to the third power is negative 64. So let's do another one. We have 81 to the negative 0.25. Okay? Well, first of all, I would rewrite the decimal as a fraction. So I would rewrite this as 81 to the negative 1/4. And the way we deal with negative exponents, we've done this a long time ago, is if you have a negative exponent, the way you make it positive is flip that term to the denominator. So it becomes to the 1/4. Yet we still have to simplify this. So we have a 4 here. Remember, the denominator of the fraction becomes your index. So you have 1 over the 4th root of 81. The 4th root of 81. And what number to the 4th power is 81? We've done this quite a few times now. The number to the 4th power of 81 is 3. Because 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 is 27, times 3 is 81. So this would be our final answer. Okay? Now we're also going to work backwards as well. So if I were to give you a term and say, how do we rewrite this in expanded form? So how do you take a root and rewrite the exponent as a fraction? Again, the inside exponent becomes your numerator. The index becomes your denominator. So that's how we can rewrite these. So again, inside exponent, numerator, index becomes your denominator. Alright? Let's do another one of those. So we have the third root of 13 squared. So the index always is your denominator, and your exponent is your numerator. So 13 to the 2/3. Okay, so this is your final answer. Alright, so this is called expanded form. Now we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to put it in radical form and then simplify. Radical form means your answer has a root. We're going to put it into a root, and then we're actually going to solve these. So if I were to give you 2 to the 4/5, we can rewrite this by making it, since that's a 5, that is your index, and then the 4 goes on the inside, 2 to the 4th. And we said 2 to the 4th, 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So 2, 4, 8, 16. 5th root of 16. And we can't break 16 down in terms of having a factor that you can take the 5th root of, or a power of 5, sorry. So this would be your final answer, because the smallest number that we can deal with is 2, but there's only 4 powers of that, so you can't break down 16 anymore. Okay, our next one, we have negative 8 to the 2/3 again, denominator becomes your index, and here we have negative 8. This numerator becomes the exponent on the inside. So negative 8 squared we can actually rewrite as 64. Negative 8 times negative 8 is 64. Now we have to see, can you take the third root of 64? Well, 4 times 4 times 4. So that's 16 times 4, which is 64. So the third root of 64 would be 4, because 4 to the third power equals 64. Okay? So again, it's about knowing how to rewrite exponents as radicals and radicals as exponents. But the question is, what if we had the negative on the outside? We had no parentheses there. When you're dealing with a problem like this where the negative's on the outside, where there's no parentheses, this 2/3 only applies to the 8, not to the negative as well. So we're going to leave the negative on the outside, okay, of this third root of 8 squared. So leave the negative on the outside, you get the third root of 64. So your final answer, leave the negative on the outside, would be 4. So negative 4 would be your answer again. Again, negative on the outside, leave it on the outside. Negative on the inside, we can actually take that underneath the radical with us. Alright, so let's do just 2 more problems, and we will be done. So we're going to find specific values for each of the expressions. So if I were to write down x to the negative 4/5, and I want to know what does that equal if x is equal to 32. So we're going to plug the 32 in for x. So we have 32 negative 4/5. And again, since it's a negative exponent, we can move that to the denominator. So we have positive 4/5. Again, we want to get rid of the negative exponent. So this 5 right here, again, becomes the 5th root, becomes the index. So you have 32 to the 4th over 1. Okay? Well, we said that the 32, we can actually rewrite this to where the 4 is on the outside. We have the power of 4 is on the outside. So the 5th root of 32 is actually 2. Then we have the 4 on the outside. Okay? So again, the 5th root of 32 would be 2, and the 4 is the exponent on the outside. So this would be a final answer. So this is how we deal with these type of problems. And ask questions if you need at school, and just let me know where you guys need help. So good luck with that.